The anime begins with Sora Kashiwagi, a high school student, doing his household chores. The doorbell rings when he is washing clothes, and he calls a girl, Cade, who is playing a game on the computer. But she refuses to open the door, and when he opens the door, a girl gives him a package. He's very shocked to see a mysterious, oversized package from his proclaimed adventurer father. There is a casket inside the package, and with the package, an instruction letter also comes. When he reads the letter, he comes to know that his father is in Egypt and has found the mummy. He thinks the creepy mummy inside the casket will eat him. His father often sends him mysterious things like a cursed doll. Suddenly, the casket starts moving and its door opens. A tiny, cute, pint-sized mummy comes out of it. It's so small that it can fit in the palm of his hand. Initially, Sora worries that it's harmful to him and decides to send it back, but later, he sees the small mummy weeping. Sora feels it is a delicate creature yearning for attention. Mummy requests that Sora give him a place in his home, and he is ready to do all his housework. Sora gets emotional to see his tears. Sora says he can't do it because he is too small. Meanwhile, Mummy starts trying to do some work, but he can't. He again reads the letter and thinks his father sent him a good thing. His father tells him that he will write down what he knows about the mummy. Sora thinks, what should be the name of Mummy? Meanwhile, his pet dog, Pochi, comes there. Mummy feels jealous to see the dog with Sora. Sora named him Mii-kun, and Mummy is very happy. Sora teaches him how to drink water and gives him different fruit to eat. He likes apples very much. The next day, he goes to school and tells his friend about the mummy. He takes his friend Tezuki with him to meet Mirai. When they reach home, Maya is lying motionless on the table. Sora then gives him some water, and he opens his eyes. Sora introduces him to Tezuki, but he looks afraid of Tezuki. Then he starts swimming in the bathtub with Sora, and after some time, his belly gets swollen and he looks like a balloon. Sora and Tezuki are on their way home, and Sora is worried about Mii-kun. Tezuki asks Sora to study together. When he reaches home, he sees Mii-kun is not in his senses due to thirst, and he gives him water. Then they go to the kitchen to make dinner, and Mii-kun tries to help him, but he can't manage. Sora makes a small knife and gives it to Mii-kun. He's very happy to get this. Then he cuts cucumbers with that knife, and Sora makes dinner. A piece of cucumber falls, and Mii-kun goes to take it and falls. When Sora is reading, he makes a small copy for him. Then Tezuki comes there, and Mii-kun is afraid to see Tezuki. Sora tells Tezuki that he is making a picture book for Mii thinks that Tezuki will eat him, so he hides behind a flower pot. Tezuki stares at him and gives him food to eat. When Mii-kun comes to him to eat food, he catches him. He tries to open his bandages when Sora comes there, and he beats him for doing this with Mii-kun. Tezuki feels sorry for doing this and apologizes to Sora. Sora says he will take him to school, and Tezuki thinks he's just kidding. The next day, Sora takes Mii-kun with him to school and thinks that it will be very bad if anyone sees him moving. Tezuki says to keep him under his desk and ask him to act as a stuffed mummy, because anyone might kick him. After some time, Mii-kun sneezes very loudly, and another student, Motoji, comes there. She says she will never see a stuffed toy sneeze. Sora tells her that he sneezed. He then asks Motoji to take with her if she wants to have it. Sora makes many duplicates of mummies. Then Motoji comes and says that she wants to take a toy, but she takes the real mummy with her instead of a duplicate. Sora goes out to find her, and Mii-kun is weeping for him. When Motoji keeps him in changing room, he sees a hole there. He thinks the way may lead to Sora. So he enters a hole, and a mouse runs behind him. Sora learns Mii-kun is in changing room, and it's very difficult to find him. Meanwhile, Mii-kun is there. They are very happy to see each other. Motoji comes there and starts weeping. He says sorry to Sora that she lost the toy. He says to her, it's okay, and gave him another mummy doll, but it's not real. The next day, he asks Mii-kun if he wants to go with him. I doesn't want to live without him. They are both satisfied with each other. Sora's sister, Kaida, comes out of her room and sees Pochi. She also sees Mii-kun's lunchbox and thinks that Sora eats this food because she is unaware of Mii-kun. She says to Sora while weeping that he doesn't need to eat dog food, but he says it's nothing like she thinks. He tells her about Mii-kun and says that his father sent him a large-sized box. She is happy to know about this. Sora introduces her to Mii-kun, who is shocked to see her. Sora faints on his way to school because he has a fever. She asks Mrs. Mii-kun not to be nervous. Kaede is happy to have a cute mummy in their home. Sora calls Kaede this time and asks for a glass of water. He comes to the door with great difficulty and takes a glass of water. She's upset to see him in that condition, but he says he is alright. Mii-kun starts crying a lot because of Sora, as he is missing him and feels lonely. He gives him water, and after that, he falls because he has a fever. She wets him so that the fever subsides. I wants to be with Sora. Tezuki also comes there and brings food for them. Sora tells Tezuki to give food to Mii-kun and Pochi. He has a high fever again at night. Tezuki starts going to school in the morning. He meets friends on the way, and they ask about Sora's fever. When Tezuki is having lunch, Motoji-san comes there and says to him that even today he is eating food alone. He tells her that the doctor has asked Sora to rest. He remembers when a bird died in front of his eyes. He considered himself responsible for her death, but his father explained that it did not happen because of him. Then Mrs. Mii-kun comes there, and he is very hungry. His sister prepares delicious food for them. Then she wears glasses, which change her personality, and she starts to eat Mii-kun. But at that time, Tezuki gets there and takes off her glasses, and after that, she says sorry to him. Tezuki says that whenever she wears glasses, her personality changes. He advises him not to use these glasses at home. Sora thanks Tezuki for taking care of him. Then, he writes in his notebook that he doesn't know what's behind Mii-kun's words. He wants to know a lot about him. When Tezuki is going home, he feels someone chasing him. He sees an only child. He thinks if he stays with him, he will grow up and throw him out of the house. While thinking this, he goes ahead. But still, that child is behind him. He tells him to go away from there and go to Sora's house because he will love him and also take care of him. When he reaches home, his sister gets angry with him. Then he sees the same child through the window of his room. He tells him about Sora's house and asks him to leave because he will not keep him. After this, he helps his sister. While reading in his room, he looks at the curtain and sees that the Ani child is sitting in the cold. He says to him that tonight he will let him in. When he is sleeping on Tezuki's bed, Tezuki comes and asks him not to sleep on his bed because he is very dirty. The next morning, Tezuki throws Ani child out of his room. At school, Motoji brings cookies for Sora that look the same as mummies. Tezuki tells Sora about Ani's child. Sora laughs and asks Tezuki to keep him in the house, but Tezuki says that the child cannot give anything to him. When he comes back, the Oni child is sitting in his window in the cold. He takes him inside for the night and does this every day. His sister gives snacks to Oni's child. Tezuki tells Sora that the child comes to his home every night. Sora says it's the child's home now. Tezuki thinks of Sora and says that he helps everyone in any condition. He is inspired by him. The next day, he takes the Oni child to Sora's home, and Mii-kun and Oni child become friends. Pochi also comes there to play with them. They search for different names for him and select his name as Connie. After this, they make lunch, and Mii-kun makes a roll and weeps in happiness. Tezuki says Connie can eat everything. Sora thinks he hates Connie, but he sets out to keep him. Sora tells him that if anything happens, he will be here to help. Tezuki sees Oni child sleeping with a mummy doll because he has a friendship with him. Tezuki tries to wake him up, but Oni ignores him. When he calls him by his name, he wakes up and doesn't talk, but they both laugh. In class, Sora sees a lizard on Tezuki's desk, but it's not real. Another student comes and says that he made this with rubber. Tezuki says to him, why is he doing this? He says to Sora that he doesn't know what to do with this. Mii-kun is afraid of this lizard, so that's why he put bandages on the lizard. But he can't cover his tail and he starts weeping. Tezuki is playing with a lizard and it falls in front of Motoji. She runs so fast to see the lizard in front of her. Sora says to Tezuki that he doesn't know if it's good or bad to keep Mii. I'm with him. He says he has to practice leaving him at home. All the things his father sent were harmful to him, but this is not. And due to these things, he has been hospitalized. When Motogi is upset by the lizard, her friends say it's just a toy. When Sora goes home, he finds his sister sleeping in a box with Pochi. Sora says to Mii-kun that if he stays at home without crying, he will tell him the story at night. When Motoji-san goes into her room, she sees a dragon that looks like a big lizard. She cries to look at this. Motoji comes out of the house and Sora hears her voice, enters her house, and sees a dragon weeping. Sora says she cannot differentiate between a lizard and a dragon. The dragon is concerned about Motoji, and she thinks she can't understand her caring nature. She says, "Sorry to Dragon," and Sora says he's trying to say it's okay. Motoji, San hugs him and thanks him. He tells them he and Tezuki have been friends since nursery school and also lived together. He tells Tezuki about dragons and that he also has a dragon at home. Then Mii-kun's there and Sora asks Motoji not to tell anyone about Mai. Meanwhile, Tezuki comes there and Sora shows him the dragon. When he sees it, he thinks it's the same dragon who injured him. He says that his dragon eats anything, unlike this dragon. Kaede-san also comes there and is shocked to see the girl. Motoji gives the dragon the name Isho. When he takes Motoji-san to her home, Motoji-san's friends show her their cats, who have different names. She becomes very happy to see them and says they are very cute. Her friend asks if she's going to keep a pet. She says her whole family likes animals. She's going to tell them that she has a dragon, but she remembers Sora's advice and stops talking. She says she will talk to her family about wild boar. Sora and Tezuki listen to their talk while sitting in the class. When they are going back home, Tezuki tells Motoji that she is going to tell her friends about the dragon. She apologizes to him for this, and he asks her to join them on the rooftop during lunchtime, where she can say all that she wants it. Sora asks her why her friend calls her Moji-chan, and she says it is her nickname. Tezuki also calls her Mogi-chan. They decided to get together at Sora's home on Sunday. Sora tells Kaede that Tezuki and Mogi are coming to their home on Sunday, and she becomes very happy. She tells Sora that Mii thinks he's his brother. Sora tells the incidents to Kaede, saying that Mii-kun helps him very much in his work and becomes a caring pet. Kaede-san laughs and says that he is growing. On Sunday, Kaede-san is not at home when Tezuki and Motoji come. Motogi tells them that her dragon can fly about 500 meters. She shows them a page and tells them that her dragon has written it, and they are surprised to see this. Tezuki says to Motoji that he will teach Latin letters to her dragon, Isho. They are shocked to learn that Isho can write Latin, and they are all very happy. All of their pets write something on paper to show them their thoughts. Sora forbids Motoji to go into the room because there are many weird things in it that his father sent him. Connie sees a carrot, and Sora asks him not to touch it, but he does not listen. When he takes out the carrot, mysterious voices start coming from it. Sora tells them that a person can die within 5 seconds due to the voices from inside. Kaede-san uses this for the morning alarm. Motoji-san wants to use this. Meanwhile, the carrot runs from there, and they search for it, and then Isho catches it. Sora, Motoji, and Tezuki spend time with their pets. A boy is having the worst nightmare, in which he sees that someone is trying to kill him. When he opens his eyes, he is in the classroom. Then Sora comes in front of him to see him nervous. Mii-kun feels very hungry and Motoji-san is concerned about why Sora hasn't come. Tezuki tells her to eat her food comfortably. Mai's mouth waters when he sees the meal in front of him. When they start eating, Sora comes there with the boy who had a nightmare in the classroom. Tezuki asks what he brought with him, and Sora is about to fall, but Motoji lifts him in her arms. Sora says that this boy is very upset because of his dreams. When he wakes up, he tries to punch Motoji-san, but Sora saves her. Tezuki gets angry with him because the boy behaves rudely. Seeing him, the boy leaves from there and Sora goes to meet him. Sora gives him bandages and asks him about his parents. He tells him that his parents have thrown him out of the house. He has a habit of sleepwalking and destroying everything in his house. Sora tells him that he is not able to complete his sleep, which is why he has this disease. The boy tells him that he has a bunch of charms, and Sora asks him to show them. The boy's name is Tachiaki Daichi. He gives his contact number to the boy. The boy thinks that those people are very nice and that he should apologize to them. At night, Daichi tells Sora that a creature is eating his soul. Sora goes to his house and sees a cute creature named Baku. He takes her into his arms and falls in love with her. The boy is surprised to see that he is not afraid. Sora says he has never seen such a thing before, and then Mummy shows which ones. Sora is very sleepy in the morning class. He tells Tezuki that he had gone to that boy's house last night where he saw Baku. Motoji-san is very happy and wants to touch it. When they go to find him, it is known that Daichi has not been to school for 3 days. He comes to school on the 4th day, and he tells them that he's been sleeping for so many days, and he feels very happy. Tezuki asks the boy about his illness, and he says he is fine. Tries to convince Kazuki and Daichi to shake hands, and they do. Everyone asks the boy what has he named him, and he tells them that it is Mii-kun. The boy tells Sora that he will be fine with everyone and wants to apologize to everyone to thank Sora. Mataji. San is running away when her friend asks her to eat ice cream from the shop near the railway. She says she cannot come because she has work to do. She runs toward her house saying that Isho is waiting for her house. On the way, she sees two people talking about an on-child and they are searching for her. She goes to Tezuki and tells him about two people. Then he says his on-child goes to her house daily. He suggests they leave them at a place before going to school where they can spend their day and play with their friends. Then Sora says he knows a place where they can live and there will be no danger to them. On their way to school in the morning, they go to the prayer site. They met Grandpa there. Sora says to Grandpa that they want to keep Mii-kun and other pets here, Tezuki and Motegi, and were surprised to see him speak. Sora introduced them to Grandpa. In a while, someone comes there, picks up Sora, and takes him away. They go after him and see that he is drinking tea with her. Sora tells them that she is the god of that place. After this, they sit together and enjoy tea. Everyone at school talks about their pet. When they go to take them back, they are very happy, and they do not have the heart to go back. Later, the door opens. Mom walks out, and the god accidentally closes the door. Mii-kun meets an Oni child, and they see different animals in the forest. The god is troubled because of mice, and he searches for him. Grandpa feels worried, but he cannot move from his place. Ani child and Mai talk to each other, but they do not understand each other. Mii-kun is very upset and comes back to the shrine after the rain stops. God tells Sora that Mitch is missing, and Sora gets very upset to hear this and asks Mii-kun not to go out again. Oni comes back home and starts missing Mii-kun. Mii-kun says that he has seen a lot of creatures. Sora advises him not to worry about the creature. Someone will take care of them. Oni child in the forest sees a letter from Mindy and gets very happy. Tsutio asks Tezuki about Connie, who ate the cake Sora made for her. She starts weeping and Tezuki calms her down. Later, Tezuki warns Connie not to eat Tsukio's cake. Otherwise, he should leave his house. The next morning, Tezuki gets up and finds Connie missing. He remains silent when others are discussing their pet's riding. Sora asks Tezuki why he has not brought Connie to the shrine, and he replies that he has gone somewhere. After returning home, Tezuki asks Tsukio about dinner, and she tells him that she has made a cake for Connie. She wonders why Connie has not come downstairs, and Tezuki thinks he is still not at home. He looks out for him, but he is nowhere. The next day, Sora asks Tezuki why he is upset, and it seems that he does not sleep at night. Tezuki replies that he is okay. After some time, Tezuki reveals to Sora that Connie has been missing for a few days and has left his home. He says he will not search him because he has left willingly. Tezuki's friends are worried about Connie, and Sora and Tsukio want to search for him also, but Tezuki says he himself asked Connie to leave, so nobody needs to search for him. Tezuki remembers his childhood incident and runs to stop his friend. Sora and others go to the shrine and ask for Connie, but he is not there. Tezuki thinks that if he wanted to kick Connie out of the house, then why is he worried about him? Sora asks him about his club when suddenly he sees Connie on a roof. Tezuki runs to him, but he behaves strangely, and later Sora tells him that it is not his Connie because they have found his pants floating in the river. Tezuki says he has found Connie and Michie, Isho, and Muki make cards for Connie. Tezuki apologizes to him while going back home. Tezuki tells Connie that one day he found a dragon being chased by a collector and tried to save him, but he put him in danger. He says he cannot protect him like the dragon, which is why he wanted him to leave. Connie gets emotional to hear this and starts weeping. The next day, Tezuki tells others that Connie has stopped eating other people's things and listening to him. Sora comes home after buying vegetables and other things and finds a package lying on the table. He then reads Kaida's letter, saying that her brother has sent the package to them. Meanwhile, the package starts moving and the doorbell rings. Sora asks on the intercom and learns that Tezuki is outside, but he asks him to leave. Tezuki comes through the window and asks Tezuki to take Mit, Connie, and Pochi outside before opening the package. Then the package opens and black smoke comes out of it, telling him that his name is Anubis. He says he is a Japanese boy, and they can call him Ayin. He says he wants to go back to Egypt, where he was at a gift shop. He also informs Sora that his father worked hard to select a gift for him. Sora introduces Mii to Anubis, and he starts nibbling Mii. He further states that Mai is not the real mummy, and he can tell the future. Tezuki finds a letter and some sand from Egypt. Sora asks Tezuki not to touch the sand because it can be dangerous. Later, Sora puts Mii in the sand and he starts playing. Daichi and Motoji visit them and they introduce their new friend Anubis to them. They all enjoy watching them play, and Anubis calls Sora Sorano. Motogi asks Anubis to call her by her nickname. Tezuki tells the others that Anubis is the name of the god of the underworld in Egyptian mythology. Sora appreciates Moteji's hairstyle, and Tezuki thinks Sora does not hesitate to say anything. Sora has hiccups and wants to go to laundry, but Tezuki asks him if he is embarrassed. Daichi gives him some water, and Tezuki says he heard that if a person has 100 hiccups, he will die, and everybody is shocked to hear this. I starts crying to hear this, and the bandage on his body is undone. Sora tries to catch Mii, but Tezuki stops him, saying that they can know what is inside Mi's bandage. Everything in the room turns bright, and Sora rushes toward Mii and asks him not to take off the bandage from his body. Tezuki then reveals that he tried to stop Sora's hiccups and that the idea of dying after 100 hiccups is a superstition. Sora then wraps the bandage around Mii's body, and after that, Motegi and Daichi say goodbye. Anubis thanks Sora for the fun they have had today. Little Sora gives an invitation to Tezuki for the Land God Festival. His uncle San gave him this invitation, but he refuses to take it, saying that he doesn't want to go. Two boys show a picture of a dog to Tezuki and Sora. They say that when they took the picture, the dog disappeared. Tezuki says that he must have seen a dream. He says that it is reality. The boy says that he found the dog on a cursed mountain called Bachian. After this, they see the picture of the dog. Motoji-chan says they should do something. They decide to go see the dog tomorrow. Tezuki says it's been a long time. They should go home. Sora thinks Tezuki has changed a lot because of Connie. He was not like this before. Ayen wakes up at night and says that he has to watch a foreign drama on TV. Tezuki asks Sora why Mii is behaving strangely, and he tells him that Mii woke up from a nightmare and did not find Sora. The god put a special tag on Mii's body after seeing that he is not willing to leave Sora. They visit a place about which Sora says that strange creatures might be spreading there. They reach the festival and learn that humans cannot come here, especially without an invitation. They are asked to show their invitation. Sora comes forward and says that they have lost their invitation. The monster gets furious and says they will be punished. Sora asks the monster to let others go and punish him in exchange for that. Meanwhile, Mii-kun takes his invitations out of his pocket and gives them to the monsters. His uncle, San comes there and hugs all the kids, and Sora tells them that they have come there to find Anogami. Uncle tells them that he gives Anogami the names A and U, who are two dogs. Both of them go there and beat each other. Sora goes behind them. Sora talks to I and of you and remembers an incident in his life. One man gets into the festival by showing a fake invitation. Tezuki tells Sora about his dragon incident. That's why he wanted to stay away from these things. Meanwhile, people start gathering for festival and they both start separating from each other. Tezuki grabs Sora's shirt. Both agree that they will remain friends. The next day, they go to see the waterfall and some people are secretly watching them. They pick up the Mii-kun. Some people say that a man has entered without an invitation and they start searching for Mii-kun, but he is not there. An old woman comes there and tells them about the man who came inside without an invitation. Sora gets upset, and his uncle tells him that the man will be caught by guards. They hear the background sound, and his uncle Yamade tells him that this is the sound, and that the man has escaped from them. Sora says he will find Mii, but Tezuki calms him down. The guy holds Mii-kun in his hand and says that he will earn a lot of money from it. He's about to run when Sora comes there. Tezuki finds out through a special ability that Mii-kun is on the other side of the waterfall. Sora climbs to the waterfall and Mogeti-shan helps him. His uncle Aidson says she has a huge heart and is beautiful too. After that, he goes to Mii-kun and tells the guy to give it back to him. The guy says he will not return Mii-kun. He holds Mii-kun tightly in his hand. The man tries to escape, but he surrenders in front of the guards. Mii-kun falls, and Sora picks him up. The land god punishes the guy with 100 years of slavery. All of them are very happy because of Sora, and they call him that. He is a hero. After this, everyone goes to Sora's house. When they open the festival gift box they got from the land god, Sora is a bit nervous to open this. Thinks it may be a monster. But a festival set comes out of it. Kaede, San and Mogi wear suits. Kaede, and says she wants to wear her glasses, but Tezuki refuses. The boy asks, when did they all make these costumes? She says that Sora made these costumes. Sora wishes that they go out every year together. Mageti Chain and Tajiki are very excited about this. They all discuss with each other what to do in summer. Kaede, San was happy to see them. Sora prepares food for Mii and Mai helps Sora in his work.